these weapons right here. Morning Adelaide, morning everyone. Andrew, Stacey and the crew from City of Adelaide Lions Club on our Sunday morning walk. Hope you're well. We've started walking already, although we started the video a bit late. Waiting for everyone to get here, so I hope everyone is well. We've got 4 of us here with us today, got 4 of us here as we're walking along the Torrens Weir, as we were the last few weeks, apart from Mara and I last week were at the Victoria Park Racecourse, and they had Adelaide Marathon on around, so the roads were cut off. But we're back at the Torrens Weir for today, and in the next week or two we'll look at changing the venue again. Maybe if you've got a suggestion out there as to where you'd like us to walk, and if you want to join us there, we're more than happy to take it on. Morning, Hun, as we go into the darkness under one of the bridges. So we've had suggestions of going to the beach, we've had suggestions of going into the hills, we've had suggestions of going to doing the Mount Lofty walk. So, hey? Going home. Walking home. We walked to Matt's place, it's a nice long walk. So if you've got a suggestion out there, if you're following me this morning, as to where you'd like to join us for a walk or suggest us to go for a walk, let us know. The idea originally for this program was to do various parts of Adelaide, the city, the CBD and North Adelaide, because that's sort of our area as a club. But I reckon we might maybe spread our wings a little bit and go to other areas if that interests people, to motivate you to come along and join us on these walks. So hopefully for any of you that aren't watching right now, morning Coda, if there's anyone who's not watching the live feed right now and you're watching later on, send us a comment, because obviously I'll see it. If you've got any suggestions and if that motivates you to join us, that'd be marvellous. I'm going to zoom in and just see what Val has said. Can't walk to give support, but I'll give up something. Give up smoking. Oh, well done then, Val. So Val, it's probably a little bit hard for Val to join us here in Adelaide, considering that she's in Fleetwood. For those of you that have been a regular follower of this program, Val and my Uncle Billy watch us regularly, which is much appreciated. So I hope it's a good evening to you Val and Uncle Billy. Up in Fleetwood in England, the mother country. So as we're walking past, what were you going to say? Nothing. So be good on you, Val, if you're going to do that. Let us know, keep us obviously informed how you go with that. So yeah, so if you're watching this video later on today and you've got a suggestion, please whack it in the comments, because obviously I'll see them in the notifications. So any suggestions welcome. So at the Torrens Weir this morning and along the linear park trail, lots and lots and lots of people walking, jogging, on the bikes. So there's plenty of activity down here at the Torrens Park Run, along the Torrens Walk here. There's plenty of people out on the river rowing as well, if I've got that right on the camera there. So plenty of people getting their exercise in this morning. Morning Mum and Dad, whoever it is that's watching. It could be Addie. Morning Addie. Probably, thanks hon. So we've got Marilyn, Indy and Matt with me this morning. So a couple of things just to share from a City of Adelaide Lions point of view. Marilyn has got some information to share from a couple of club visits that she's done during the week. So she's suddenly become our roving reporter from a meetings point of view. No, I'm just joking, Marilyn just threw her head back there thinking, oh no, I didn't say that. Morning Lynn. Lynn, when are you going to come and join us back on these walks, my dear? And then what I thought we'd do for something different is talk to Indy and get her to talk about our Cubs Club that the City of Adelaide Lions have been running for a couple of years now. Indy was the charter president, and I thought let's get her on camera and talk about that program as well, and that'll see us through for most of our walk this morning. We're going to try and crank up the pace a little bit today, because I've got a cabinet meeting I need to get to by 10 o'clock, and we need to make sure that we leave the Torrens here by 8:45 so I can get there on time. So we're as much as possible, we're either going to crank up the pace and move a bit faster, or we'll turn around a little bit earlier just to make sure we get back in time. So we'll make sure that we get all our info out to you guys today. And so it's a good morning wherever you are in Adelaide, SA, Australia, or around the world. We do hope you're well, and I hope you've had a good week as well. So from a City of Adelaide Lions point of view, with our first for a long time. We had our first Fred's Van barbecue last Sunday, went really, really well. Almost got rained on, but Kathy ran a good ship again, and we got all of our food cooked in a good time. Thank you to the volunteers from our club, as well as two Lion friends of Lions. My parents came along, which was marvellous, and we had plenty of happy clients there getting a feed. Nick, how are you, buddy? The Gabriel's on.
I like him.
Go the Pork Hunters, Thursday night win.
Most important player.
So that's all cool. Now, from this program's point of view, from this Lions Get Active program point of view, thank you to Patria, we've been able to organise 2 guest visitors. Morning, Uncle Billy, or good evening, Uncle Billy. We've got 2 guest visitors from the Australian Lions Hearing Dogs Club. So in 2 weeks' time, we've got the CEO David Horn coming out with us. He'll come out and have a chat to us about the program as a whole and all the wonderful work they do training their dogs. Morning, Adelaide. Training their dogs for the hearing impaired and deaf community, and how that program works. So it'll be a fascinating chat with David to learn about what happens there. Now, I've spoken to David, we get along, we've known David for a while, but it's going to be a really good opportunity to promote what their club does and what their program does and how they train their dogs and everything else. So he's coming out in 2 weeks' time. Morning, John. How are you, mate? And then in 2 weeks' time after that, one of their trainers, Laura, is scheduled to come out, and we'll be talking about a very exciting program that they'll be starting off. We'll find out when they're going to start it, but they'll be starting off some new training of new dogs that are going to be medical alert dogs. So it's really fascinating what they're going to be able to get the dogs to do, and fingers crossed we get a couple of dogs walking with us as well. So we'll let you know if that happens, and if you're a dog lover and you want to walk your dogs with our dogs, come along and join us. So we've got David Horn coming out in 2 weeks' time, and in 2 weeks' time after that, one of the dog trainers is coming out. So what, like I said, what they're going to do for their medic dogs is just amazing. So stay tuned for that, or better yet, come out and join us. It is quite possible that we've changed the venue by then, obviously by me asking where would you like us to walk, and we'll obviously let everyone know where they're going to be. So if for some reason things don't change, it'll be a nice easy walk along the torrent here, as we've done so many times. So please join us. So I'm going to walk a little bit forward so I can get Marilyn into shot. And we'll get a bit of an insight again, same as last week, from the partner of the DG, Marilyn, and she will let us know what clubs she's visited and which clubs DG Tony visited. Morning.
Morning.
Oh, as we walk into the darkness, that's not good timing. Boy, oh boy. So, where'd you go this week?
On Tuesday night, DG Tony and I went to Golden Grove to their monthly dinner club meeting. It was an excellent night. Had a great venue.
Where is it at?
It's at the Golden Grove Tavern. They have their own room there. Nice and quiet. Very well organised.
Cool.
They're a small but a very passionate club.
Yep.
They are out and about again. They've just done a Bunnings barbecue.
Cool.
And now they're going into donut making. Got all the equipment.
We were talking about the donuts last week.
They make a lot of money apparently. And they're still learning, they're still practicing.
Yeah.
They're going to have a morning tea practice where they're all going to cook them and eat them.
Do they need volunteers to help with that practice and the taste testing?
That'd be good. But no, they're a very active little club.
Yeah.
And yes, their emphasis at the moment is on social, on getting together and having a bit of fun with their members. And they're having morning coffees, which they're inviting other people to.
Just avoiding some cyclists.
Some prospective members, but no, they really have it together.
Oh, cool.
Good little club.
Beautiful.
And on Wednesday, the following day, we drove to Maitland
Yep.
for lunch. It was Zone 7, which is the whole of the York Peninsula from Cub Indiana down to Stansbury. and it was at the Barley Stack Winery. Nice casual lunch, had an interesting guest speaker,
Oh, yeah.
and they plan on having another zone get together next March.
Yep.
All clubs were represented except Stansbury. Unfortunately, they had a funeral to cater for. That's one of their major fundraising. They do all the funerals.
Yeah.
And
Who would have thought that Lions do that?
they make a lot of money out of catering for those.
Yep.
So they were the only club not in attendance. Each club got up and just said briefly what they're doing and what they plan to do.
Yep.
And it was a long day, 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours at the venue and 2.5 hours back. But no, Ian's doing a great job as zone chair,
Cool.
trying to coordinate with all the
Marshall out there.
clubs. And yeah, so that's our week.
Oh, cool.
That's it.
Sweet. And so have you got any visits planned for this
Not
week?
this
or
week, no.
Yeah.
No visits this week.
Sweet.
A few coming up, but not this week.
So are those sort of clubs, are they looking healthy in terms of what they're doing, or how they cope with all the restrictions and
Yes,
things?
they're in a good place, but their numbers are all,
Yeah.
are not great, but
Yeah.
they're working on it.
Okay.
A few new member here and there,
Yep.
but yes, they're all keen to keep going, and
Yeah.
you're getting out and about a bit more now.
Beautiful. So I guess it's a case of the district helping out to try and get the word out what they're doing more as well, and
Yes,
it's all about that promotion and things like that for
Yes.
for a lot of those clubs.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Thank you for that. That's much appreciated. That's all cool. Marilyn there roaming around as SA with the visits with DG Tony. So that's marvellous. No, I haven't asked Marilyn to do that each week by any means, but it's marvellous that she actually volunteered that she wanted to do that. And as I walk away, Marilyn's like, no, not doing that more, not doing that more. Anyway, I reckon, guys, should we just follow the path and go around, or should we just literally turn?
I'm following the ducks.
Cuz it's following the ducks.
Keep moving.
I'm gonna
What time is it? What time is it? It's 9:23, so
What do you reckon, to Berg and back?
get to where and back?
Get to the bridge.
The bridge and back? Sounds good. So, sorry about that, just a bit of, we're just sorting out what we're doing, where we're going. Yeah, so that's awesome that Marilyn has done that for us. Really good promotion of those clubs. It gives hopefully you guys a bit of an insight to those various clubs. And I must admit, I know bits and pieces about a lot of those clubs, but I certainly don't know as much as Marilyn either there. So what we're going to try and do, I can't remember if Patria's done it or not, but these videos do go onto YouTube, onto our club's YouTube channel, and so we'll promote to the clubs that we'll send the videos out to the clubs and just show that we are talking about them, to get them out there, get the presence out there, and we'll do the same today for Golden Grove and for Maitland. So it's marvellous that Marilyn and Tony have gone out there to do that. What we're going to do, what are we thinking, Marilyn?
Where are we going?
I'm happy just to, well, I mean, normally we go across there, but I'm happy just to turn and just go back,
yeah,
just to
yeah.
make sure we get back in
Go
time.
longer at the other end.
Yeah.
Go down to Weir and back.
Yep. All right, so now we're going to call on Miss Indiana. Hey. I'm just going to turn the camera down a little bit to make sure I've got the two of us in shot. So, got Indiana here. Indiana was the charter president of the Little Roarers Cubs Club. Now, for those who don't know, out there in Facebook land, let's walk behind Matt and Marilyn so that we're out of everyone else's way. So a couple of years ago, Indy had the idea of having a Lions type club,
But for kids.
but for kids. And so, Mum says hi.
Hi.
And so, Indy and her sister Addison have always helped out with Patria and I when it comes to our club's projects and activities. I mean, they sometimes get dragged into things, being being the daughters of who they're with. But Indy's always been really fascinated with it all, and she's always eagerly helped out, which has always been appreciated. So Indy just simply had the idea, well, why not have one so that her friends could join and do the same sort of stuff. And so we approached their school and their principal, and they were more than happy to get on board with it all. And so what ended up happening was we formed what we confidently know as Australia's first Cubs club. Now, there are plenty of clubs in Australia or the world that have cubs. They are usually sons and daughters of Lions members, and usually they either help out their parents at their clubs, or sometimes they'll go to the parents' meetings. Michael Stevens, how are you, mate? Or sometimes they'll go to their parents' clubs meetings and they'll probably just sit in the back corner and have dinner and everything else, but they don't actually do a lot. Kate, how are you? Where are you, my dear? I'm going to try and zoom in just to see. Where are you today, Kate? Hope you're well. Hope the move is going well. And so, yeah, so there are cubs around the world. We're pretty confident that there are a couple other Cubs clubs, but they don't work the way that our Cubs club works. So Indy's, well, not Indy's, but Indy's was the charter president of the Cubs club. The kids themselves, the club is aimed for primary school kids from year 1 to 6, or 1 to 7 at the school. Obviously anyone is welcome to join. And we end up having a full-on opening ceremony. We inducted all these members as the first members of the club, so they are charter members. Indy was lucky enough to be voted in as the charter president, and now she's currently the vice president because the presidents get shared around. And so let's have a chat to Indy about the club itself. We are pretty confident, we are 99.9% confident that we are the only type of Cubs club that we have in Australia, and we're 95% confident that we're the only type of club that they are in the world. We're pretty confident that there are other Cubs clubs out there, but they don't run the same way this club runs. This club is self-reliant. They come up with their own projects, they run the projects, they have to do all the work. We as a parent club help facilitate and just sort of keep things going, and as a club we financially assist these guys. Kate, what have you written back? Hard refuse. Yep, cool, good big clean-up day today, cool, Kate. Yeah, and so, oh, sorry about the video there, guys, I'm jumping all over the place. Trying to keep myself and Indy in shot. Yeah, and so the Cubs run everything themselves. We as the adults are just there to facilitate and just do that learning of how to plan stuff and whatnot. But I'm going to throw it to Indy. We'll ask Indy a few questions. So if you've got any questions out there, please send them through on the comments here, and we'll get Indy to answer as best she can. So, Indy, well, maybe from your point of view, what sort of inspired you for the idea of starting up a Cubs club?
Well, I've always loved helping you, Mum, Nana and Pa with Lions.
Yep.
And then, like you said, I thought, why can't I do it with my friends at school?
Absolutely.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice, simple idea. And the principal of the school was more than happy to be on board because they talk about, or they promote service, leadership amongst the school and have plenty of programs like that.
Yep.
Morning, Steph. How are you, my dear? And so, in the end, so as the club got formed, you were lucky enough to be first president.
Yep.
How did you find that experience?
It was good. It was a bit challenging at first,
Yeah.
getting used to it because I'd never done that sort of
Yeah,
stuff before.
because you were actually trying to run the meetings.
Yeah, so we just ran the meetings.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a good experience, especially being the charter president.
Yeah. And so what sort of projects have you guys done over the years? We've had this program officially going now for 2 years.
Yep.
We're about school holidays now. So we've just done the 3rd term of the 2nd year.
Yep.
So what sort of projects have you guys done? Or what are you currently doing?
Well, currently we've been making we've collected bottle caps,
Yep.
bottle tops, and we've been making art and magnets and stuff with them.
Yep.
And we're going to sell them for a fundraiser because we've designed Cubs t-shirts and we voted on one.
Cool.
So we want to have our own Cubs t-shirt, like you guys have a jacket
Yep.
and the t-shirt.
And so right from the get-go of forming this club, we got the kids to come up with the name
And a logo.
and a logo. And so the kids put designs ahead. Patria jazzed them up a little bit just to make them look professional. But the kids did all that work, and so it was all about forming their own identity. And so we had a whole heap of names that the club, that kids came up with for the
Yeah.
club name. And we had 5 in the end that they voted on, and in the end we had the awesome name of the Little Roarers Cubs Club. So, like I said, that was all the while we suggested that the club should have a name, it was up to the kids to figure it all out. So that was awesome. So you're doing some fundraising.
Yep.
We're going to try and get t-shirts up and running, which is cool, so to help with the identity. What other projects have you done maybe since you started? Even?
Oh, we've done a lot. So we've made these like kind of like gift bag things for kids in hospitals.
Yeah. Care packs, wasn't it?
Yeah, care packs.
Yep.
So we made up storage. We put colouring in sheets in there. We put puzzles and lots of different activities.
And the whole point of that was?
To brighten up their day. And to make so they've got something to do.
We'll try, and also to try and let them know that there are people that are thinking about them while they're, going through whatever they're going through in hospital.
Yeah.
Which obviously the same idea as what we do with the hearing. With the Heavy Raw project. Morning, Pat. How are you? What else? What are the sort of? Can you remember any? I was going to say lessons, but not lessons. Any sessions that you've done where we've actually done other activities?
We've done sign language.
Yeah. So Patria, who runs a lot of the program, started introducing Auslan.
Yep. We've worked on people's disabilities. And we've actually experienced them. So when people like blindfolds and stuff, we had to so we were blind, and we did lots of different activities around disabilities.
Yep. So we're trying to get them obviously to understand the perspective of those people with certain different what great English it is, with different disabilities. Lil, how are you, buddy? Yes, so just to give them that hands-on experience of what it's like. So there was one lesson where we bandaged them up. So we got them to try and tie shoelaces with like a bandaged up hand.
And with like
one hand behind the back and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. So you can understand just how difficult it is, and you can sort of appreciate the challenges that some people go through. Well, would there be, say, a favourite? Nain, how are you, Naina? That's all right, Naina. You're always next week. Has it been, whether it was your time as being club president or since, has there been like a highlight for you since we started the club?
Well, I think like all sessions and stuff are favourites, but one session we watched, it was with the disabilities, we watched a video about a girl named Lacey, and she had no arms, and that was a favourite out of everyone. Everyone just loved that
That
video.
got talked about big time, didn't it?
Yeah, and she was like 3 or 4, and she had no arms.
No arms at all. So the kids got a clearly good perspective on how someone deals with just daily life without any arms, and so she was born without the arms.
Yeah, born without arms. And so that's been a favourite.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Everyone loves that.
Yeah. So does that still get talked about?
Yeah, at times.
Yeah, cool.
We've asked if we can watch it again.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah. We've had the Lions hearing dogs visit.
Yep.
We sponsored, or the club has sponsored, Spud, who was a dog that got trained and has been now given out to their owner to help someone that's hearing impaired.
Yep.
So that's always really cool. So the kids always love hearing about Spud.
Yeah.
We get monthly updates.
Yeah, we loved seeing Spud.
Yeah, kids got to meet him. Yep. And so as Indy's hopefully getting across there, I said the Cubs themselves really, they drive all the ideas of what they do. Even last year at the district convention, the idea from the kids was to cook little chocolate.
Like they're little, like kind of like protein balls. They're like Milo balls, fruit balls, and so we put them in little packs and we gave them out. At the district convention.
So all the Lions members that went along to the district convention received the little chocky ball pack that the Cubs made, and they actually wrote notes saying thank you for doing all that you guys do as Lions. And so the Cubs wanted to show their appreciation for the Lions of what they do, and that was their idea. So how lovely is that? So the club is open to all kids at the school. I'm not mentioning the school deliberately at the moment, just in case for any privacy sort of issues, but I know there's another club in Adelaide that are strongly considering a Cubs club, so we're happy to help out with that. Patria has worked her butt off with this program, so myself and Patria got the program going. Patria's certainly run the whole thing more so than myself, and we really thank 2 of our members who became members because their kids joined Cubs Club. So Jen and Nikki
Yep.
joined our club because their kids were part of Cubs Club. So what an awesome spin-off from a membership point of view for our club of their kids joining the Cubs Club.
Yeah.
So
And so now Nikki and Mum, Patricia,
Nikki and
do it.
so Nikki and Mum coordinate the program. Nikki's mum Judith also joined our club because Nikki was part of what we were doing.
And
She helped out.
She sometimes comes to
Yep.
meetings.
So she's been awesome as well. Like I said, Jen comes out as well, which is hugely appreciated. And so I guess if there are any members of other clubs out there watching what we're talking about here, if you're able to form a Cubs club, whether it's at a school or another community area, obviously it's a great way of getting younger people involved. You've got these bright sparks involved that can run it with a bit of guidance. And I say, if you contact Patricia or myself via Facebook, we are more than happy to help you initiate that sort of program if that's something you want to do. It could very well lead to a few members as well joining from parents. And like I say, Indy's done a great job of leading the club. There's a lot of younger kids in part of the club.
Yeah.
And so probably would be good to get a few other members.
Yeah, some older kids as well.
Some older kids from the school.
Really me and Cara
Yeah.
that are-
Yeah.
And because it's at the end of the day, it's hard because they're so tired.
Yeah, it does,
It's
yeah.
hard.
So we run our Cubs Club on a Tuesday afternoon straight after school. So they're the sort of arrangements that you'd need to make with your school. But like I said, the kids run the club. They are more than capable of doing it. So we let them come up with the ideas. Like I said, the next step is to do some more fundraising. And the next step is, like I said, to get shirts, continue the projects that they're currently doing. And then obviously we'll see where it goes from there, because like I said, it's the kids driving it. And like I said, as someone who got it involved in the first place, I've got no idea where it's going to go, and that's the exciting part. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing that. We're sort of coming close to the end of our walk to make sure that we leave here on time, because I've got a cabinet meeting to go to straight after here.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you for that. You're a legend.
Oh,
Addie gets right involved as well. We get the kids to even nominate to be president or vice president. They even have to do speeches to do that as well. And so the kids, the Cubs themselves vote for their president, and the person with the most votes clearly gets president. The person with the second most votes get vice president. And so, but like I said, the kids have learnt public speaking skills, and they have to present why they would be a good president for the club. We get the kids to do that for one semester, and then we swap it around, so that way there's two presidents each year. With COVID this year, we made a bit of an executive decision to extend the life of the current president, just so they could have a go, because obviously, like everything, that program itself had to shut down as an after-school activity. I'm just going to read what Peter's done. How are you, Peter? Peter's asking, where's the uniform? Haven't got it yet, but what is the uniform? What got decided on? Because I saw a few designs that I'm assuming got voted for. What got in?
There were lots of designs. Like I don't know the design really, but because it was so small, 'cause there were pieces of paper.
What colours and stuff? What's the general idea?
Well, it's got the Cubs logo. It's got, I think it had like white on the back. It was white and it had stars or something.
Okay. And what's the colour at the front?
I think it's I don't know.
Maroon, yellow, red?
Not sure.
You're disgusting. Anyway, so Peter, the design's been finalised. We haven't got the t-shirts yet, so we'll obviously let you know when they are done.
We'll order them once we've done the fundraise.
Yeah.
So we can actually pay for them.
Yes. So I'm sure that'll get done by the end of the year. So a bit of time, but we'll get that done. The Cubs will get that done. Patricia, Jen and Nikki will get that done. So thank you to those three ladies who put in their time and the effort, especially Patricia and Nikki. They help plan what goes on each session to make sure everything runs well. They try and get the president and the vice presidents involved with that.
Yeah.
So they're part of that process, because Cara and Indy are the president and vice president. So we get them involved to make sure they understand that planning process as well. So what we're trying to do is get the kids to understand that things don't just happen. There's a lot of work that goes into this sort of stuff. So, and I know that Indy appreciates that.
Yeah.
It's a matter of other kids learning that when it's their turn. So awesome program. Patricia and Nikki do a fantastic job running it. awesome initiative, and like I said, we certainly encourage any other clubs to try and do the same thing, whether that's here in Adelaide, here in SA, across Australia, or even internationally. We'd love to know what other clubs do, if there's any other sort of clubs out there. Like I said, we're pretty confident this is the only club in pretty much the world that run it the way they run it. Happy to be corrected there. If we are wrong, that is not a problem. But also interested to know how other clubs do run, just so we can compare and see how it all works. So yeah, thank you, my dear. Look, from that, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm going to leave it there. Just make sure no one's behind me. I'm going to leave it there with everyone this morning. So I hope you have a great Sunday. Kids, be good to your parents for these next 2 weeks of school holidays. Parents, keep yourselves sane. Find that way. Find that wonderful drink that keeps you sane if you need to. No, I'm joking. Drink responsibly. Yeah, so hopefully you'll have a good Sunday, have a good week at work, or whatever it is that you're doing this week. We'll either look at changing the venue of our walk for next Sunday, either next week or the following week. If it happens to change this week, because you guys have given us some suggestions, then we'll obviously let you know. If we don't change, well, obviously I'll let you know either, so that people know where we are. We'll either be here at Torrens or be at somewhere else. Good night, Uncle Billy. Sleep well, mate.
Bye.
Have a good week, guys. Stay well. Give us your thoughts. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Have a great day.
Bye.
See ya.